What is up, my sorry excuses for humans? How are you all doing today? I hope you're doing good, because I am doing amazing, because I am almost finished with a project I've been working on for like 30 hours now. That's not even a joke, guys. It took forever to make. This would be one of the best production quality videos I've ever made, which is not saying much, but it's saying something, and that's the thought that matters. Today, in our first episode of Deep Dive, we are taking a look at Little Mac, the One Punch King. The second, I think. I cannot keep this up. The Star Puncher himself. The green trousers, the black hair, those beautiful brown eyes. Yes, Little Mac. But not in his more prestigious forms in Smash Ultimate. We are talking about his forms in his less representative games of his abilities, if that's a word. Smash Ultimate and Smash 4. So, we all know Little Mac has had a very rough past in terms of viability. He's often referred to as the worst character in the entire game in Smash Ultimate and Smash 4. Smash Ultimate even more so. His recovery is also considered to be one of the worst in the entire game, which it is in Smash 4 and in Smash Ultimate. More so in Smash 4. So let's get something out of the way right now. I do not hate Little Mac. I think he's actually a really fun character to play. I think he's a cool guy. He's a cool person to bring to your house sometimes, you know, for a nice sip of tea. But he's not good if you want to bring him out into a boxing match, which is surprising because he's a boxer. So the whole concept behind Little Mac is that he is good on the ground and bad in the air. Well, Nintendo certainly got the second part right, because he is absolute centered in the air, and only honestly mediocre on the ground. So let's take a look at his moveset. So the moveset, and I'll be looking at this from a completely neutral perspective and from a viability standpoint. So let's start with the jabs. For jab 1, congested already. For jab 1, it comes out of frame 1, which is pretty good, but it has 10 frames of inlag, which, It's minus 12 on shield, with 8 frames of shield lag and 3 frames of shield stun. It lasts for 16 frames, and it has a base damage of 1.5%. The hitboxes are also strange in the sense that they barely even touch his arm, instead of being almost at his waistline. For jab 2, it is much the same as jab 1. I cannot English very good. It is very similar to jab 1. Only difference than the jab 1 is that it has 5 frames of shield stun instead of 8. I cannot read. It has a fairly large hitbox, but not really disjointed. However, they decided to place a nice fat hitbox over his torso for some unknown reason. For jab 3, it's frame 4 with a minus 19 on shield. It's active on frame 4 and 5. If the jab didn't lock like it used to, if the jab didn't lock like it used to in Smash 4, we would be looking at 24 frames of inlag for a jab. Has pretty nice 5% base damage, as well as 12 frames of shield lag and 6 frames of shield stun. For his rapid jab, what is that? That's bigger than Mac himself! That goes above his head to below his toes. Okay. Sure, buddy. It's active every other frame, having a base damage of 0.5%. It also has 4 frames of shield lag and 2 frames of shield stun. For his finisher, it has 5 frames of startup with a minus 25 on shield. It's also active on frame 5. It lasts for 34 total frames and with a base damage of 3%. With 13 frames of shield lag and 4 frames of shield stun, the hitbox is pretty disjointed, with 2 huge hitboxes taller than Mac himself extending outwards, launching diagonally. The fact that these actually comment to each other is already a major step up from Smash 4, where that didn't even have enough hit stun to jab lock itself into one another and combo to one another, so they can actually just mash and do some damage in the process and get out the jab. So it's honestly, his jab made his jab irrelevant. His forward tilt consists of two hits, of which are active frames 4 through 5 and 12 through 13, with the move itself lasting a total of 37 frames. With the -17 of shield, the two different hits also have different data to go along with them, with hit 1 having a 4% base damage, 5 frames of shield lag, and stun. Hit 2 is significantly better, dealing 8% base damage, with 9 frames of shield lag and 8 frames of shield stun. The hitbox is nothing special, except for the fact that the first hit is a pretty sizable hitbox on his torso area once again. You'll find this is a trend in its max hitboxes. His down tilt is a frame 3 startup and is active on frames 3 to 4. His total frame duration is 25 frames and a -14 on shield. It has 8% base damage as well as 7 frames of shield lag and 8 frames of shield stun. The hitbox covers his entire arm, and with the sweep spot being a huge hitbox on his fist. I think this mistake might have been an unpaid intern or a bored employee having a laugh, and then forgot to put max hitbox back to normal. His upsell might be the best in his skill set and kill set actually. A sizable hitbox with the frame 4 startup and swings at a large arc covering a huge amount above his head place area. It can easily hit grounded opponents. It is -18 on shield, and active frames are 4 through 10. The entire move lasts 29 frames with the base damage of 6.5%. The 6 frames of shield lag and 7 frames of shield stun. Now onto his smash attacks. This is where we get to the interesting part of his character. So besides recovery and aerial options, the one thing that Mac lacks the most is range, for all of you who for some reason didn't know that. So instead of giving him some sort of range option like a normal person, a same person, Sakurai, they decided to just give him super armor, which helps, but is by no means a replacement to the range that he needs oh so desperately. You see, for all of you who don't know what super armor is, it prevents you from flinching or getting knocked back when you take a hit. The thing is, you still take damage, so it's not really armor. His forward smash in terms of hitboxes is pretty average, with it being 1 hitbox around his fist being the sweet spot and 2 hitboxes on his arm being the sour spot. The startup is frame 14 and its active frames 14 through 15. It is a -16 on shield, with the move itself lasting a total of 43 frames. He has super armor at frames 8 through 15. The base damage is 20%, which is definitely not bad, but considering the fact that he's supposed to only have ground moves that are viable, it's not really that amazing. His down smash consists of 2 hits, one on either side of Mac, with hit 1 being active on frames 10 through 11 and hit 2 being active on frames 17 through 18, then having 24 frames of in lag. It's -23 on shield and lasts a total of 42 frames. Mac has super armor on frames 7 through 10 and 15 through 17. The move has a base damage of 13%, as well as 9 frames of shield lag and stun. The hitbox the hit boobies are placed fairly oddly, and I said that oddly, with the 1 being in the middle of his body and 2 being on his arm and 1 on his fist. His up smash is frame 10 and will lasts until frame 13. It's -23 on shield, which doesn't really matter since it wouldn't be able to hit shield anyways. The move lasts for 47 frames, and Mac has super armor on frames 8 through 13, sorry. The base damage is pretty good. It's a pretty good 21%. It has 17 frames of shield lag and 14 frames of shield stun. The hitbox is pretty similar to his down smash, but instead of swinging down, he swings upwards. And so we arrive to the comedic relief of this video, his aerials. With his neutral air... Sorry. When I say they're bad, I meant they're really bad. So in terms of how bad, I'm gonna give you an example. His neutral air is the fastest in the game at 2 frames. But it does a laughable 2% base damage. There are jab 1s in this game that do more damage than this person's air, neutral air. and that is saying something. His down air is frames 7 through 10 with minus 15 on shield. The move has 18 frames of landing lag. On top of that, the 17 frames of end lag. Has a base damage of 4% and 6 frames of shield lag, as well as 3 frames of shield stun. The hitbox of this move is certainly nothing special either. His back air is framed 11 through 12 with a minus 13 on shield. The entire move lasts 37 frames as well as 16 frames of landing lag. It has a base damage of 6%, which is actually pretty good in comparison to his other aerials, which is saying something. Has 6 frames of shield lag and 3 frames of shield stun. 2% for this man's neutral air. What was Sakurai thinking? I don't know why this is so mad. It's only 0.5% better than his jab 1, Jesus. And twice as slow. His up air is frame 5 through 8, with it being a minus 10 on shield. So, wait, am I reading that right? 41 total frames? With 13 frames of end lag? Yeah, those together, that's almost as much as Ganon's volcano kick. Wow, for only 5%? That's less than a fourth of Ganon's damage. It has 6 frames of shield lag and 3 frames of shield stun on top of that. I told you this guy's arrows are horrible. His forward air is frame 10 to frame 12, with it being a minus 10 on shield, and lasts a total of 36 frames. Jesus Christ. With 13 frames of end lag. That's 49 frames right there, Buckaroo. It has a base damage of 5% with 6 frames of shield lag and 3 frames of shield stun. The hitbox being once again the same as his other aerials, but this time in a swing in front of him. Phew, so now we're done with the cancerous butthole that is his aerials, so how about we move on to his specials. His up B is a multi-hit on frames 3, 7, 11, 15, 19, and 27 with 30 frames of landing lag. That's half a second of landing lag. That sucks. He actually has invulnerability on frames 1 to 3, so it's impossible to punish while it's getting started up. The damage pattern goes 3%, 1%, 3%. So that means, for example, the first frame that is active, it will deal 3%. The second frame is active, it will deal 1%. Then the third frame is active, it will deal 3%. So frame 3 would deal 3%, 7 would deal 1%, and 11 would deal 3%, and so on and so forth. His down B is a counter, the worst in the game, but hey, it's a counter. The counter is active on frames 5 through 27, which is certainly not bad, but not good either, with the move itself lasting 47 frames. It's a pretty sizable hitbox around max body. That's it really, it's just a counter. You see, that is the problem with max moves. They're just good moves by themselves, but in specials, they lack any synergy with each other. So they're just good moves. But good moves doesn't always mean a good character, as you will soon find out. His neutral B is the worst move in Smash Ultimate, in my opinion. Now, before you start typing in the comments saying how you won EVO 193 years in a row by only using max neutral B, hear me out. And I see your mouse hovering over the X button. Don't you dare close out this video now. Bleh! I'm just gonna say that, okay? Pretend nothing else happened. And I see your mouse hovering over that X button. Don't you dare close out the video, Billy. I swear to God, I will shove a butter knife down your right eyeball. Now hear me out. His neutral B is a charge move with good kill power and range, if you charge it up fully. That's the problem. If you charge it up fully, to do that, it takes 123 frames, not for the entire move, of startup alone. So before the hitbox is even active, you're trapped for over 2 seconds. But it gets better. The entire move lasts for 231 frames for only 30% of damage. For the love of God, play Ganondorf. He's just almost better in every way. But wait, it gets even better. It sets his minus 81 on shield. So if someone shields a move, then it takes a grand total of 312 frames. Oh wait, but I'm not done yet. if for some reason you do this out of shield and then hit somebody who's shielding, it will take a grand total of 329 frames to get through the entire animation. Do you know how long that is? That's nearly 5.5 seconds. It's really bad. Now will be the time to introduce you to Mac's quote-unquote trump card, his KO punch. You see, once you get hit enough or deal enough damage, you get a few seconds to unleash a KO punch which can kill stupidly early percents. The thing is that it's hard to land. Really hard to land. I might just suck at him, and I probably do, but whenever I played him, I cannot land something for life of me, and high play. It's easily punishable if you miss it, with a total of 76 frames and a minus 54 on shields. However, the hitbox is certainly nothing to complain about. His side B is one of his main recovery moves. It's frame 8 and minus 39 shield, and lasts for 60 frames with a base damage of 14%. It has 12 frames of shield lag and 13 frames of shield stun. This is actually a pretty good move. At the beginning of the move, he has total invulnerability, 3 frames to be exact, but then he keeps his vulnerability on his lower half of his body until frame 17. The hitbox is pretty large as well, covering a huge area around the fist, over his head and below his arm. Whew. Okay, for some trivia. Mac in Smash 4 can only use his side B or up B to recover, so that means he can only recover horizontally or vertically, which sucks. And it still does suck, but now he can use both. When Mac was implemented into the game, the devs thought that giving him super armor on the Smash moves would give him an unfair advantage and create a broken character. They're clearly wrong about that. Mac actually has a good recovery in a vacuum, but the problem is that he can easily be ledge guarded or interrupted. Mac was actually considered a low mid tier back when Ultimate first came out. Mac has actually received more nerfs than buffs in Smash Ultimate and in Smash 4. You know, while researching this, I realized why Mac is so underpowered. It's because with him, there's a very fine line between being underpowered and overpowered when it comes to his moveset. Because if he even had decent aerials, think about this, he could apply ridiculous amounts of pressure. His only weakness would be recovery at that point. So in my opinion, it's better to leave him behind and remove one character rather than making all of the other 70-something unviable, similar to what they did with Bayonetta in Smash 4, except they hit her early overpowered. So everybody else is super overpowered. This video took about 30 hours to make, from researching to screenshotting, recording audio, recording gameplay, editing, and revising. So please, if you subscribe and enjoy this video, it means so much to me, and I'll do this more in the future if this is received well. If you're watching this to the end, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yeah, I love you guys. I'll kiss you right now on my web. I appreciate that's breaking social distancing. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Stay curious.